Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
If you found yourself on a spiritual journey but feeling alone, you've dialed into the right channel. Stay tuned in for your 5-minute Spirit Reboot. My special guest expert, who is a feng shui consultant and author of You Can't Make This Up. I had to be very careful how to say that. Alejandra Brady. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. I know, but I had to go with that name. There was no other name for this book.
Well, tell us why you can't make this up.
Because if you were calling me from Hollywood and asking me to write what has happened to me in the past 7 years of my spiritual journey, I wouldn't be able to make it up, because there have been such incredible things that I've experienced, good and bad. A spiritual journey is not all unicorns and rainbows. And I walked into a healer's place one day and I just introduced myself, said, "Hi, I'm Alejandra." And she goes, "What's the title of your book?" I'm like, "Okay, I didn't tell you I was writing a book." And she just said, "What do you want to call it?" And I said, "I wanted to call it this." And she goes, "That's the title of your book." Because, I've been playing around with the really nice titles. And she's like, "Nope, this is it."
So tell us, what was a transformational moment that inspired the book and your journey into becoming a feng shui expert?
First, it was feng shui, and then that led to my being interested in other modalities. So I started learning how to meditate, and I had turned 50. I had just had a very unexpected cervical fusion. So I have a titanium plate that holds my neck up with 6 screws, cadaver bones, the whole 9 yards. And I hired a feng shui consultant to come to my house to help me get ready for the surgery. So I had such a seamless recovery after I did what she suggested that then I knew I had to incorporate it into my interior design practice, because I have been an interior designer for over 20 years. So now I do it very intentionally, and the clients that I work with all have to be open to energy and feng shui. Otherwise, I don't work with them anymore.
That's perfect segue, because when somebody goes on to a spiritual journey, that's so, touchy-feely to a lot of people who are working the daily grind. So what's that look like from your own personal experience?
So I started diving into the spiritual world. Like I said, first came feng shui, then came meditation. During a meditation, Archangel Michael came in and said, "You're writing a book." I said, "No, thank you," for a while, but he kept being quite insistent that this is what my path was. I asked what the book was supposed to be about because I had no idea. He said, "Just write down what starts to happen to you." And that's kind of how things started unfolding. I started noticing coincidences, synchronicities. I started putting the pieces of the puzzle that was my life together and connecting all the dots, and then realized that I had a lot of these gifts since childhood. I have mediumship capabilities. I don't use them in the traditional way. I use them by reading and talking to your home and having your home tell me what it needs. And then one thing led to another thing, and so forth and so on.
What's the biggest recommendation you can give to somebody out there who's going through a spiritual journey and feeling all alone?
That is the sole purpose of me writing this book, is so that others going through the spiritual journey, this is not for the elevated masters who have been in this realm for, 30 years. This is for everybody like me who was going through a spiritual journey and didn't have anybody to talk to about it. You're just going to have to understand that not everybody is going to be excited for you. Just like with feng shui, I thought, what do you mean? Everybody's going to want feng shui in their house. And I was shocked that people were like, "I'm not interested. I don't believe in it." And I'm like, it's not a belief system. Like, why wouldn't you want your house to look beautiful and be energetically aligned? But, you learn as you're going through your journey to take a step back and meet people where they are. And you also learn who you can talk to and who you can't. But I hope that my sharing my story and what I've gone through, it's very raw, it's very real, it's also funny, can help others who are going through it so that they don't feel as alone as I felt while I was going through it, because I didn't have a resource like this.
I agree. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Where can people find your book, You Can't Make This Up, Alejandra?
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever they sell books, it will be there. It's also on my website, alejandrabrady.com.
Thank you for staying tuned in. And if you like this episode and you want more, subscribe. And remember, you can tune into your spirit each and every day. by subscribing to our podcast on your favorite forum. Please rate it and share it. Thank you.